Okay, and today, welcome to StudioBinder. Now, to get started on StudioBinder, just listen really carefully for what you need to do. Just go to Google and type in StudioBinder, and you will find very quickly that it comes up straight away. You go to StudioBinder, like I'm just doing now, and you click Get Started for free. Now, what it will invite you to do when you get started for free is to set up your own account, all right? And you can do that really easily. Obviously, I'm set up already, so I have gone straight in to StudioBinder, and it's inviting me to start a new project. Now, you could only have one project at one time if you're using a free account, which I advise you do. Don't start paying for anything. But you can go to a new project and you give your project a name. Now, I'm going to simply give it, remember my film's about dragons, so I'm going to call it the Dragon Film. Not the final name I'll go with, but it's a working title for now. And I've got lots of different options here. I'm going to keep them all, but it's the right that I'm interested in. And there we go. I have got my Dragon Film there set up. So look. Ignore most of the things. As I said to you, as I will say to you now, there's all sorts of reasons this product gets used by real industry, film industry people all the time. So they can do things such as preparing their shoot lists, what location they're shooting on. They can assort all the relevant set information, costume information, have a production calendar. And do you know what? At some point, do have a look around. I'm sure it'll be very interesting, if a bit confusing. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to writing our script. And now you will see why we're doing it here and we're not simply doing it on a Word. So you're going to go to a new document and you want a screenplay, not freeform, you want a screenplay. And you're going to give it a name. And we'll simply call it Dragon Screenplay. Call yours whatever you like. And we create the document. Okay, now what I'm going to show you looks a bit confusing when you first see it, but you get used to it so quickly and it makes your work look like a really proper screenplay, which is exactly what it is. Now, this is also going to teach you about the layout for a screenplay. Every scene has a number, and as you can see, this is waiting for us to number our scene automatically. So we start off, and there's a way we start off. We have to first of all say whether it's an internal scene, as in inside, or whether it's external. I want my first scene to be external, and look, it's given me an option. If it was taking place external, then internal, some scenes might start outside, go inside, we can put X/int. But I want mine to be purely outside, and it's going to be in the sleepy village where it begins. I then finish and it asks me, when I press return, it asks me what time it is. And I think I'm going to start it at dawn. So it's dawn. Right. What you will then see is at the top here, it's got lots of options for the type of writing you are doing. This one here is what you click when you want to start another scene, but we don't want to do that yet because we've just started a scene. This one, which it's just gone to automatically, it's very good like this, is what you want to write in if you're describing action or setting, okay? So I'm going to start, and I'm completely making this up. This is not my real first scene at all, but I'm going to completely make this up. The postman comes cycling down a typical English country lane. He stops outside a house with a prominent, bright blue door. There we go. I've put my action. I press return. Now what I want to do, because look, I'm still in action at the moment, but I want to introduce some dialogue. I want some speech. If I go to this one here, you'll see it says character. I click that and I can put the character's name, and it's going to be the postman. He's the only person there. If I click return, it will automatically then take me to dialogue, okay? But if it didn't for any reason, I would click dialogue, because the dialogue, for very traditional reasons, always goes here in terms of the margin. So the postman's going to say, parcel I've got a parcel for you, Mrs. Smith. Another exclamation mark. Okay, I click and it's taken me automatically back to action, which is perfect because that's exactly what I want. A few moments later, Mrs. Smith opens the blue door and looks horrified at the postman. This is going to be a very weird opening film. This is just to explain the software. So then I go back to character, and I then look, it gives me a choice of any character I've previously inputted. So actually, I do want the postman again. Hello. Are you okay? Because remember, she's looking horrified. And then let's have a bit more action. I don't want action. So although it's taking me back to action, I'm going to go straight back to character. And I don't want the postman this time, so I have to write in a new character, Mrs. Smith. And then it goes automatically to Styleog. But this time I want to add in some brackets. And this is what I do if I want to explain how something is going to be said. So she's going to be looking straight into the postman's eyes. Okay, and then return. And it's taken me directly to Styleog, to speech, which is brilliant. I didn't order no parcel. There we go. And then let's go to our postman. So click back to character. It gives me a choice look between postman or Mrs. Smith. And the postman says, well, maybe it's a present. Then I go back to character. And it gives me that choice. Mrs. Smith, I don't get no presents. Okay, before this gets too sad and tragic a story, I'm then going to press return. It's taking me back to action because I want some action now. Mrs. Smith slams the door in the postman's face. This is very odd. The postman, looking confused, turns and gets back onto his bike. He looks to the parcel before placing it outside her door. He cycles off. Right, now imagine that's the end of my scene, and sometimes we do have very short scenes in our film. If I want to start a new scene, I go back to this one here, scene setting, and look, it's given me two. It's given me the option. Let's now cut to inside because next scene would be in Mrs. Smith's living room. And once again, press return and it will give you a chance. It's still dawn, okay? And then I continue my next scene with some action, which I'm not going to do now. But that hopefully has given you a good guide to how to not only use this program, but also to the layout of this format, all right? And what's brilliant is this will stay here, saved here, okay? So when you log out, it stays here all saved, and then you can log back in and it will all be safe, okay? Well, fantastic. So, and don't press that. So, there we go. We have our screenplay ready to work on. Right, have good fun with that. As I say, just play around with it today. I've done the same. This is not for my actual screenplay at all. I've just played around with some random ideas just to practice using the software, just to practice using the program. Okay, and also I'll say this now, if you ever want to get a copy of your screenplay, okay, just click download PDF and it will give you a PDF version of wherever your screenplay's up to. You can then do some more work on it and download another one, but it just gives you a version that you can use then and there. If you want to share access to your screenplay with someone else, okay, you can actually invite a collaborator, okay, and you can share it, okay, or you can share it as a view only, which I'd recommend doing unless you want people meddling with your work, okay, so you can share that and other people can then witness and see the work you've done, which might be quite a nice idea to get some feedback from friends or family. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope that's been useful. A bit of a challenge, a bit of a different video as well. I will see you all later on.